Some reports suggest that Ellen DeGeneres left the U.S. shortly before the Epstein files were released, while Katt Williams has been speaking about her alleged ties to Ghislaine Maxwell. These claims also speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with some pointing toward Ellen, though there is no official confirmation to support this.
Her stories have changed so many times about what happens, when it happens, how it happens, with different versions. And each time she speaks, there's a different version.
And that is from the documentary that's just aired in the United States. That's come just off the satellite. From all, we're joined by US broadcaster Cooper Lawrence to dissect it. What did you make of Ghislaine Maxwell?
It reminded me of nobody taught me how to curtsy and I didn't inhale. There was a lot of this evidence that came out during the trial that suddenly she's like, no, it's fake. I mean, during the trial, they showed her that photo and she said, yeah, that's me. That's my apartment. I recognize it. And, it was one of the things that indicted her. Now suddenly it's a fake photograph.
On June 28, 2022, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison and fined $750,000 for conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein in abuse-related crimes. She was convicted on 5 counts for her role as a recruiter, helping Epstein find victims between 1994 and 2004. Around the same time, Ellen DeGeneres ended her talk show amid allegations of a toxic workplace and largely disappeared from the public eye.
DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK, after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montecito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication The Wrap has the exclusive story and said, Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have moved to rural England, put their Montecito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States, telling friends the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most.
They're losing their mind. She sounded so sincere, didn't she? Very sincere. Really choked on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. But I tell you some stories about that cow. But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Release the files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
While some might see it as a coincidence, Ellen's close colleague, Stephen Twitch Boss, died around the same time she reportedly moved to the UK and changed her appearance. As an executive producer on her show, his death was ruled a suicide. Reports say that in a note, he expressed feelings of stress, shame, and regret for remaining silent, though no detailed information was made public.
We're learning more tonight about the tragic side of Stephen Twitch Boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left a suicide note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is to end my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
Some believe this wasn't a coincidence at all, that Ellen ended her show after Ghislaine Maxwell's sentencing out of fear she could be pulled into the situation. Katt Williams has also claimed that nothing in Hollywood happens by chance, suggesting there's always a deeper reason. From that perspective, walking away from a show generating massive revenue seemed unusual, leading some to think Ellen may have been worried.
Type of ratings we need and attention to be on this thing. See, what I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses, and
but think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely thoughtful and powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two. Those two, yes. Will Smith and Chris Rock. It could only be what it has been with those two black men.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed, it goes on. It's certain ways things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan. Somebody, even if it looks like, Janet Jackson just had a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, there's no such thing.
Correct.
I don't care who you blaming.
I believe that.
Somebody benefited. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way.
Let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do this?
Everybody.
Okay. Good. Smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay. Explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra? Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract
its foreskin from a Korean.
Some critics argue that Hollywood has been pushing to normalize certain controversial ideas. They often cite a 2016 interview in which Steve Harvey discussed a popular anti-aging cream with an NBC host. This cream is linked to Skin Medica, a brand known for using lab-grown fibroblast cells derived from neonatal tissue in its research. While the company insists these cells are used in a controlled, scientific process to develop skin treatments, conspiracy theories have spun this further, suggesting that celebrities use such products for extreme anti-aging.
Put a little on your hand.
I do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human.
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
So it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
You done sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn hand. What you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
This your last time on the show. This your last time. Not coming up in here.
There have been claims that Chris Hansen investigated Epstein-related allegations and hinted that the situation might have involved more than the widely reported crimes. Some have pointed to released emails as evidence that Epstein had an interest in genetic research and controversial reproductive theories. However, the more sensational claims, like harvesting cells from children or developing treatments for extreme longevity, remain unproven and are widely disputed, largely based on speculation rather than verified facts.
Billionaire freakazoid. Yes. And part of his deal, he's in prison in jail up in Canada, waiting, charges all over the globe. But his deal was that he would allegedly impregnate young women in the Bahamas, where he had a huge home, and then have them get abortions and harvest their stem cells of the fetuses to inject in themselves as the fountain of youth. And we get into this in that documentary. And was Epstein involved in that sort of activity? I don't know.
That's where, and again, we just have to look at what we have and know what we don't yet.
Yeah.
But it's a question.
Yeah, and it's a legitimate question. Stuff. Yeah, and when you look at what other billionaire guys have done, were they in contact somehow? Obviously, there are some people who are in the concentric circles of associates.